Good morning. Sunday morning, kind of a wet one, a little bit of drizzle this morning. Saturday was a pretty bad day too, weather-wise, but cool, and that's what we love. It's pretty comfortable out there now. It's 60 degrees. Before I walked in the shop, I checked the thermometer outside. Um, I like sharing things with my viewers, and that is why I am so gung-ho about trying to get things to work so I can make my transfers. I have here something that I had for many, many years that I don't know if I can really put them on YouTube because of the copyright, the songs, okay? But we're going to try to do a short one here, and I'll show you a close-up of them. What they are cassette tapes that were given to me in the 90s by Cousin Johnny Small of WNLC, who lived to be 97, I believe. Passed on quite a few years ago. Now, you remember the video I made, I believe it was in 96. Pretty sure it was 96. The old Mystic Baptist Church with Lee Moore, the Coffee Drinker Nighthawk. What it is on a weekly basis, I'm pretty sure it was on a weekly basis, Lee Moore would send Cousin Johnny one of his cassettes, which Cousin Johnny would play on the WNLC Old Time Country Music Show, which is, like I say, long, long gone. That's when the radio station played country music. But after Cousin Johnny passed on, the owners of the radio station did not want to carry it on with anyone else, so they disbanded it. Now, at the time Cousin Johnny gave me these tapes, he did not need them. He says, here, take them. There's 2 of these holders, cassettes of Cousin Johnny. There used to be a small segment on the Cousin Johnny show where he would play one of Lee Moore's tapes. These are written in Lee's handwriting. This is the way I got them from Cousin Johnny. Cousin Johnny at the time did not need them anymore, and so what he did is he gave them to me. And for a long time I've been wanting to play some of these on YouTube, but as I said, it's hard. Now, you can't play Lee Moore's The Cat Came Back because it's, I've done that in my backgrounds, and you get the copyright match on it and this and that, and, of course I don't monetize, so it doesn't affect me that way, but nonetheless, I do not want to do it too much. So I'm going to try to pick out a tape here that maybe a song isn't as well known or something like that. And I'm not going to go playing the whole tape, just a little bit. I've got my cassette player that I bought at a yard sale probably 10 years ago. I'm going to be playing it on that. Nothing special. We're just going to put the tape in. I'll give you some close-ups of what's on the tapes. There's no songs on the tapes. There's dates. Side 1, side 2, and so forth. So we'll give you a little highlights of that. And if I have a problem with the copyrights, we just won't do it anymore. Simple as that. So that's the story there. So, by the way, happy 4th of July to everybody. That's another reason why I wanted to make this video, to wish everybody a happy 4th. And be safe. That's all I can tell you. Let's get started on these. I'll give you some close-ups of the tapes. They're a little bit faded with the Sharpie marker that he used. You got to remember these go back to the, I believe it was the late 90s. Um, Perhaps even the very early 2000s. They're dated like 96, 97, thereabouts. I'm not sure. I think, I don't know, Lee passed on. I don't recall what year he died, but I think he passed on a couple of years after I made the recording at the old Mystic Baptist Church, and I believe it was 96. Don't quote me on that. You know my memory. So let's get your close-up look here, and we'll set the player up, and we'll play a little bit of one of the tapes to give you an idea. And what Lee would do on the recording is he would mention Cousin Johnny's Old Time Country Music Show. He did it almost like he used to do when he was a DJ years ago and WWBA, when he would be sitting there and talking. So you'll be hearing that. And of course, like I say, Cousin John is long dead. Uh, he was I considered him a good friend. I loaned him a lot of records back in the 90s when I still had my attic workshop, and I had about well over 700 LPs and about 945 RPMs, a lot of which were country. And I loaned him a lot of records back then, and he had a big inventory at the studio also. The studio at that time was on Foster Road in Waterford, Connecticut. The building's long gone now. That's where the transmitting towers were. I used to know Randy, the engineer over there, and he gave me a tour of the transmitter back then in, we're going back to the late 70s back then. So there's a lot of history there. It means a lot to me too. And Lee Moore, of course, for you old timers would probably remember him on WWBA. He was an announcer. He picked his guitar, his Martin, and sang songs and advertised products for sale on WWBA. And those are the years I used to listen to him back in the early 1960s on the radio. Well, enough of that. Let's get started on this very briefly here. And again, I want to wish all of you a happy and safe 4th of July. Let's get going. All right. On this first folder here, okay, this one was looks like July and August of 1995. They got Twilight is Stealing on there. It's one of his songs. I wrote that myself. Yeah, this is for July and August. I guess that's Lee Moore wrote all this. This is his handwriting in 1995. So let's get this one going here. Hang on a minute. Got a leader on this tape. Not the best fidelity, a little wow and flutter in here.
A great big hello to you listeners of Cousin Johnny's Old Time Country Music Show here on WNLC, New London, Connecticut. Old Lee Moore inviting you to stay tuned. I have a few songs from yesteryear to do for you. Songs like this one that came out in 1950. The orchid is a flower that blooms so tenderly to thrill the fairest lady of the land. If placed beside a blushing rose, the rose could not compare. But how was such as I to understand? orchid while searching for a rose. The orchid that I overlooked was you. The rose that I was searching for has proved to be untrue. The orchid now I find, my dear, was you. The rose has lost its color, but the orchid is the same. And I am alone to face these lonely years. I didn't see the orchid, I was looking for a rose. And now I pay the price with bitter tears. I overlooked an orchid while searching for a rose. The orchid that I overlooked was you. The rose that I was searching for has proved to be untrue. The orchid now I find, my dear, was you. And I hope you enjoyed that. I overlooked an orchid. That's on my number 15 cassette tape. I have 15 cassettes available. That's on number 15. I can send you a whole list of them if you like. Interested, you know. Write to me here, Lee Moore, in care of this station, care of Cousin Johnny. And we'll see that you get a list of my cassette tapes that are available. Okay? Down among the budded roses, I am nothing but a stem. I have parted from my darling, never more to meet again. Little sweetheart, we have parted. From each other we must go. Many miles were separated in this world of care and woe. But I'll treasure your dear promise that you made me in the land. When you said we'd be together, when the roses bloom again. Now there's thoughts of care and sorrow. Oh, it almost breaks my heart. But say, little darling, will you love me when we meet no more to part? Will this parting be forever? Will there be no coming day when our hearts will be united and all our troubles cast away? Darling, meet me up in heaven. That's my true and honest prayer. For if you love me here on earth, dear, I am sure you love me there. Down among the budded roses, I am nothing but a stem. I have parted from my darling, never more to meet again. they miss me when I'm gone. I wonder if they pray for the boy who went away and left his dear old parents all alone. You can hear the cattle lowing in the lane. You can almost see the fields of bluegrass green. You can almost hear them cry as they kiss their boy goodbye. I wonder how the old folks are at home. Just a village and a homestead on the farm, and a mother's love to shield you from all harm. A mother's love so true, a sweetheart that loves you. Just a village and a homestead on the farm. You can hear the cattle lowing in the lane. You can almost see the fields of bluegrass green. You can almost hear them cry as they kiss their boy goodbye. I wonder how the old folks are at home. Yes, I wonder how the old folks are at home. I wonder if they miss me when I'm gone. I wonder if they pray for the boy who went away and left his dear old parents all alone. You can hear the cattle lowing in the lane. You can almost see the fields of bluegrass green. You can almost hear them cry as they kiss their boy goodbye. I wonder how the old folks are at home. Don't be angry with me, darling, if I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that a romance like any foolish man, and my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Well, I recall the first time that I flirted with you, dear, when I jokingly said, come be my bride. Now the time has turned the pages, it's the sweetest joke on earth that I have you, dear, forever by my side. Maybe someday you're gonna hurt me, I've been hurt in love before. Only God can know, the time alone will tell. But in the meantime, I'll keep loving you with all my heart and soul, and pray God to let it last to fix His will. Don't be angry with me, darling, I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that I romance like any foolish man, and my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. There's an old one. Stonewall Jackson from the Grand Ole Opry recorded that a long time ago. Still a good song. I like it. Lee Moore picks and sings here on Cousin Johnny's Old Time Country Music Show. Write to us once in a while. Let us know what you're listening to, these old songs of yesteryear. Write to Cousin Johnny or to Lee Moore here at WNLC in New London, Connecticut. Well, let's see. I got a song here that I get a lot of requests for. I've been singing this one since about 1940, I think. 1940 or 41. I began singing this song. I've recorded it several times. Have it on several of my cassette tapes. Twilight is Stealing is what I'm going to try to sing for you. Twilight is stealing over the the sea. Shadows are falling dark on the lea. Born on the night winds, voices of yore come from that far off home. Far away beyond the starlit skies, where the love light never, never dies. Gleameth the mansion filled with delight, sweet happy home so bright. Voices of loved ones, songs of the past, still linger around me while life shall last. Lonely I wander, sadly I roam, seeking that far off home. Far away beyond the starlit skies, where the love light never, never dies. Gleameth the mansion filled with delight, sweet happy home so bright. Come in the twilight, come to me, bringing some message over the sea, cheering my pathway while here I roam, seeking that far off home. Twilight is stealing over the sea, shadows are falling dark on the lea. Born on the night winds, voices of yore come from that far off shore. Far away beyond the starlit skies, where the low light never, never dies. Gleameth the mansion filled with delight, sweet happy home so bright. All right, so what? I missed a few strings now and then, mostly now and then both. Oh well, I meant right. Old Lee Moore a-picking, not playing. I was a-picking and a-missing a few of the strings there, but anyway, we got through it. Twilight is stealing. Lee Moore wishing you the best. So long to you, and let me hear from you once in a while. Thank you, Johnny, Cousin Johnny, for giving me the privilege of picking my guitar and singing for you on this fine radio station here in New London, Connecticut. So long to you. May deep content and happiness bless everything you do. May God smile down on all the path that lies ahead of you. So long now.
Okay, it was certainly nice listening to Lee Moore. He was getting up in years. I think at that time, I believe, one of those tapes, he mentioned his age. I believe he was 83 at the time. That particular recording was made, as I showed in the beginning, 1995, and I believe it was 1995 or 96 that I saw him at the Old Mystic Baptist Church. I remember telling you that I had a nice little phone conversation with him around the time after he made that recording, that I made that video rather at the Old Mystic Baptist Church. I have it on YouTube if interested in seeing it. and he was very nice to talk to. And at that time, I was trying to learn how to play the guitar too, and you know, didn't work out for me very well. But anyways, if I don't have too much problem with the copyright stuff and everything else, maybe we can do more of this. But we'll see how this one goes over. I got to do some editing on this. Anyways, try not to keep it too long, so I'll fix it so that it won't be too boring for you. For those of you who don't like that, but the way Lee Moore would play is a little different than the average singer, so maybe these songs will get through without any problem with copyright matches or worse yet, strikes. However, if that happens, then we won't be doing this anymore. But I wanted to share them with you. I've had these tapes for many years. I have notations in the cases here that they were put on in the computer. They were done, transferred over, and made into MP3s. The cases have just separated. The hinge broke, so I got to get some Gorilla Tape and fix these. Remember, these are pretty old. So I hope you enjoyed that. I wanted to share some of my things with you, and hopefully there won't be any problem with these music clips being played here. As I said, Cousin Johnny, long gone, passed on quite a number of years ago, and there is no more old-time country music show, sadly to say. I have been listening to Cousin Johnny old-time country music show when it started out as Starlight Ranch and Roundup Time, and the earliest times I remember listening to him was in 1962. When the transmitting towers were on City Pier in New London, and the maximum transmitting output power was 250 watts, and they were located on 1510 on the AM radio dial. Of course, these days, when the station moved into Waterford on Foster Road in Waterford, Connecticut, the transmitting towers were new towers and much higher transmitting power at the time. But those are the days when you had good music on the radio, which you don't have anymore. You want to hear country music, you got to go on YouTube or internet radio or something like that to get it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I want to wish you all a happy 4th of July, and be safe, everybody. Thanks again for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.